What scientific facts have recently been disproven that most people still believe to be true? Komodo dragons actually do have venom glands. It's not just dirty mouths. When I was little, I'm old, we couldn't have night lights because they had proven that if a kid has a night light, he's more likely to grow up needing glasses. It turns out that this is actually true, but not because the night light is doing anything bad to you. If you need glasses, then things are out of focus without your glasses on, of course, but things are even more out of focus in the dark. So parents with glasses tended to get night lights in their kids' room, so they could check on they. I've never heard this in the US, but I have friends in the East that told me that a lot of people refuse to use microwaves because they think they'll get radiation poisoning from eating food that was cooked by it. Edit. To the people saying it was never a fact, you're right, and I should probably read titles more carefully. It's not super recent, but Neanderthals were not these hunched-over, near-decrepit idiots that they're often portrayed as. The first Neanderthal skeleton to be examined had rickets, and the guy who did the examination totally botched it. They stood just like us, only a bit shorter. And they were pretty smart too. They used tools and fire, and actually have a larger cranial capacity than us, which could mean they had larger brains, though a larger brain doesn't necessarily mean being smarter. Eddie. Not recent, but it is in fact entirely possible for two blue-eyed people to have a brown-eyed child. Genetics for iris color is way more complicated than what is shown, but Punnett squares. That map of the tongue that shows which regions taste salty, bitter, sweet, etc.? Bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. All parts of the tongue can taste all flavors. The taste buds are the same. That dinosaurs had peanut-sized brains and were stupid as fuck. This was genuinely taught in schools in the 70s/80s in my part of the world. Too many people believe that we only use 10% of our brains. If that were true, we wouldn't have such large brains. It would be an evolutionary disadvantage to lug around a huge brain that consumes a ton of energy if we only use 10% of it. It's absolute bullshit. The whole alpha wolf idea is complete bullshit. It's not how normal wolf packs work. It was based on a very flawed study that the creators themselves have completely retracted. And yet people still think it is a real thing, and this idea will not die. Your hair and fingernails do not continue to grow after you die. Those cells die along with the rest of you. What happens is that your body tends to dehydrate, shrinking the skin and muscle tissue. This makes your hair and fingernails look longer, but they haven't grown at all. Study after study can't seem to convince people that sugar doesn't cause hyperactivity. They can give kids drinks with artificial sweetener and parents still report that the kid gets hyper from it. That oil comes from dinosaurs, it comes from ancient plankton and algae. The myth comes from a US oil company's advertising from before the war. Goldfish have a 3-second memory. They can actually remember things for months. That cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. There's no solid evidence for that. Doctors used to say pee is sterile. Worth noting, this is just the scientific method. Theories get modified, refined, and sometimes overturned. Science of the future will debunk a lot of what we think now as well. The chiropractor is pure pseudoscience. No evidence it has any positive effect and can injure you. Shaving causes the next growth to be thicker. There is no effect, just stubble is short and so feels strong compared to longer hair. I, before E except after C. Disproven by science. It's been scientifically proven that you don't have to wait 45 minutes after eating before you're allowed to go swimming. That we lose most of our body heat through our head. Most people don't go around completely naked. If it's cold, we'll wear extra layers, thicker socks, and even gloves, but lots of people won't wear a hat. If they do, they won't have their face covered. So you are losing more heat through your head, but only because it's not insulated by clothing. Aspartame, the artificial sweetener, does not cause cancer. That conclusion was based on a study where it caused cancer in the liver of rats. Just a few issues with that. 1. Rat livers are different from human livers. What affects one might not affect the other nearly as much. 2. The aspartame was injected intravenously in the rats, rather consumed orally as we humans usually do. 3. It was injected in amounts that would equal drinking thousands of cans of diet soda per day. Drinking? Oh. Tongue rolling is actually a skill that can be learned. We were taught elementary and high school that the tongue rolling is a genetic trait, and unless you went on to study something biology related, you'd never think that's incorrect. MSG is bad for you. Drinking moderately, especially red wine, is good for you and better than not drinking at all. Classic confounding. Those that drink red wine and / moderately tend to be wealthier and therefore healthier. Those that abstain usually have a reason, either a history of alcohol misuse or otherwise ill health, and therefore do worse if you just compare them to those who drink moderately. All based, as usual, on Western cultures and European ancestries.